Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh, we're keeping it lively today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to VCT Game Changers NA Series 2 presented by Verizon. We're going to have a good day today, all right? Not jinxing it this time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one. We're going to have some fire matches. My name is Saradon. I am joined here with Gompers and Sully. Sully, you're laughing, but hey, if we, we're getting some eliminations. We're getting more people qualified. It's going to be good regardless, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a good day, like despite maybe the opening, hopefully the games are going to be a lot better than that. Let's just hope for it, Sierra.
No, we get it out of the way early. Especially to us three on the desk. It's going to be great, especially to I get to work with my girl Gompers. What's up?
What's up? Oh my gosh.
What am I then? What am I? Chopped liver? I don't understand.
Honestly, bro, don't even ask, man. You're not even on the spectrum. It's okay.
You're Sully Cass, all right? It's right there under your camera, so but hey, everyone, thanks for dealing with our shenanigans, and hopefully they'll be a little bit more astray, but just from the teams instead. As we touched on, this is going to be the last chance for teams to be qualifying for our main event. We already got 4 qualified, which is exciting stuff. It was all the good vibes on yesterday's broadcast, so let's go ahead and celebrate that first, especially there were some great matches yesterday, but the 4 that are qualified, honestly, Sully, I felt like we were going to see them qualify one way for another, and it's good they have their slot early.
Yeah, I feel like V1 and Shopify Rebellion were kind of a given, in my opinion. Those two teams have been at the top of Game Changers for the longest time. The core players in both of those rosters have exceptional experience. So those two teams, I felt like were given. EG and Exit. I think EG... I don't know, man. That DSG game, I was hoping DSG were going to pull something off, but EG, I think the development they have over there, the coaching staff as well, just adds so much firepower. And XSET as well, another heavy hitter, definitely coming into their element. We've got currently the 4 best teams, I think, out of that upper bracket, making it into the main event.
100%, especially too when you're looking at teams like V1 and Shopify Rebellion, Gompers. It's not really a surprise considering just how much these teams have been talked about, especially V1, who actually just speedrunned their way to their qualifying spot.
Yeah, I mean, they made a completely big roster change, obviously adding some of the previous members from C9, and they kind of just raced their way to the top. Shopify Rebellion still stuck in that kind of like top 2 area, but I mean, a good spot to be. Qualifying down to that main event definitely is a very big feat.
So those are 4 of the teams qualified, but of course we have 4 more to be joining them in the main event. And these are teams that are on their last chance. So notably, the teams with the little asterisk next to them are one step closer. So they are waiting for the first round of matches to be done to find out their opponents. They're 1 win away from making it on forward. But there's so many great teams here, and only 4 of them can move on.
And I think the thing that sucks is you're going to be missing Misfits Black from this graphic, right? I mean, that was a team that was top 8 in the last series, so for them not to be here, I think is a big surprise for a lot of people. Then again, we've had Disguise, I think, absolutely show up hugely as soon as they came into the forefront of Game Changers, and Unspoken Riz as well, flirting around with Shopify Rebellion, taking a map off of them. There are some new and exciting teams certainly coming through as we head into the main event.
Yeah, and the fact that we get to see this new talent come up, which I feel like is perfect when we're looking at Disguise, coming forward for this Game Changers has been absolutely phenomenal, especially too, we got to see that match that they had yesterday going up against FlyQuest Red. That was one that honestly went the distance. And, why we see FlyQuest Red where they are now. So we're going to be following their journey going on today as they look to make that lower bracket run. And first up, they're going to be going up against VALORANT here. Now, both these teams have their skills, but FlyQuest Red, we want to talk about them first, Gompers, because what they've gotten to show us so far, even if they are in this lower bracket, has been nothing short of stunning.
Yeah, they had such an outstanding game yesterday. Regardless of being knocked down to the lower bracket, it really did feel like, this team didn't deserve that. It was just one of the worst, the worser sides of, going later into the bracket and playing against, I guess you could consider it like the top 8 main team, quite literally. So for me, it was FlyQuest. The donut was like such a big factor of why this team was able to really pop off.
Yeah, and what we got to see yesterday from them, I mean, Sully, we're talking about the fact that this Misfits Black team has been eliminated. Well, it was by FlyQuest's hand here. Both of these series actually going quite the distance. We got to see on our main broadcast the 2 overtime that they went up against DSG, and Misfits named that 17-15. I mean, they're definitely working their way through this bracket.
It's first of all, again, like a big surprise that FlyQuest Red being a top 4 team from the last Game Changers event being in this lower bracket is a big surprise to a lot of people, right? They had a very close series against DSG, who I think have been turning a lot of heads, so huge props to Disguise's Game Changers team. Yeah. But it's been like, they've been clawing their way very slowly, right? They had to play the new DSG, which there's a lot of unknown factors that they play. Again, another tough team in Misfits Black, and they've just been clawing the way. Again, you see the score lines. They've had 3 overtimes. Every first and third map has at least gone the distance, and their run doesn't end here. They're up against kind of an unknown quantity in Valeris today, and then even if they beat them, Sierra, they still have to play against Complexity, another like top 5, top 6 team from the last Game Changers, so they still have ways to go. And a lot of the reason that we saw them, have any success and just maintain any prevalence in that lower bracket against DSG was the Donut. She was absolutely instrumental. Went like plus 25 on a loss to DSG, and plus 15 against Misfits Black. Was super instrumental in finding those opening kills and just earning FlyQuest Red a lot of ground in those early duels and getting a lot of map control.
Yeah, and it feels like a lot of the time, for Dodona in particular, you're looking at that ACS of 308. It's pretty much averaging that majority of the time. Like, it never feels like Dodona is off of her game, and that is something that you really want to look forward to, because whether it be on Race, on Chet, even I honestly feel like Dodona could just kill it on a Yoru. Like, this player is insane.
I get a little hesitant. I get a little bit scared when we see Duelist pick up the Yoru. But hey, I would believe that Donut out of absolutely anybody could. So Valaris, they definitely have their work cut out for them today, because they're going up against a cracked team. They're going up and cracked Duelists. Like, this will be tough.
They're kind of an unknown quantity. They've played FlyQuest Red in the past. They did actually beat them a while back, but they're not like the strongest team. You kind of see their statistics. There's nothing that really shouts out at you until you look at that post play. 91%. That would definitely be something that you go into this series. Their attacking side is the one to watch out for, but it's a momentum-based team. And what I mean by that is you have these 2 players that are so instrumental in any success that this team has, especially in the first kill and first death department. Like, we have 2 players, Gil and Starbound, who have been massive when it comes to finding opening bloods, and especially against an aggressive team like FlyQuest Red. You look at these 2 players and you say, hey, the win condition is these 2 players have to be, on one, and Gil has been on one. She took a break. She missed the first day, comes in the next 2 days, and is dropping like 40 bombs every single time, and is averaging 313 ACS.
Yeah, Gil, I mean, they've just been insane going on through this. And considering, too, Valaris with this momentum-based team, really looking for Gil and Starbound to really be able to make their impact this way, Goms.
Yeah, and I actually got the privilege to just chat with Starlight a bit about, what this team really is, and just the whole dynamic of it. And, again, bringing back Gil into this equation. Obviously a star player of their own, but it seems like Australis and Gil kind of are that team set player, where it's kind of like that 2-to-1 combo, where Australis is helping Gil make those really, really good early engagements. And that's something that I'm kind of looking forward to seeing is, is this something that really is going to change the way that the game is played?
And then now to Valaris, looking ahead at this series and the road that they have to pave for themselves as we head over to our maps. It will be FlyQuest's pick to start things off, and it is going to be split. Now, FlyQuest yesterday, they had a fantastic split, and we highlighted Dodona. Well, this is exactly the map where she was putting up the craziest numbers. You thought her stats were good before. You need to look back at her split ones, like 428 ACS. She was absolutely out of her mind, Sully.
Yeah, 428 ACS, plus 20. Again, she was like plus 25 across the series, or apologies, plus 28 and a loss, by the way. So we're looking at Dodona specifically to step up on split. But you look at Lotus, you look at Fracture. I think this is probably the most probable map pool where we could see that third map. I think Valaris, a pretty strong Lotus team currently for FlyQuest Red. They are 0-3 on Lotus, so it's kind of a tricky spot for them to go on. They have a couple maps where they don't have any wins, and Lotus, I think, is probably the weaker of those maps. So there's a real chance that we could see 3 maps, and Fracture kind of being this like 50-50, I feel like, for both teams. There's an opportunity for Valaris to really upset, but once again, you have to look to those star players to really step up on that Lotus map.
Well, especially too, I'm looking at the star players coming out from Valaris in Starbound and Gil, and last time they played Split here in Game Changer Series 2, we actually got to see some really great things coming out from them. So maybe it wasn't quite to the level of the Donut stats here, but Gil had a fantastic Raze game. And of course, Starbound with the Chamber Gomps is definitely holding their own. So I feel like too, that yeah, it'll be a tough one to go up against FlyQuest on that split, but there is the tools here in their arsenal.
Listen, I think the Chamber is pretty much word enough to see an interesting game, just to be able to kind of experience, again, the old gameplay of like what we're used to in old Valorant. Like that, listen, I love the Chamber meta. I'm kind of sad it was gone, but you know, at the same time, it's also something that I feel like we could abuse. So I do want to see, again, early engagements like I was pretty much told. Like this is something that this team I have seen, honestly, previously from Valaris be very, very good at. And we see those post-plant numbers, and there's a reason why. Like this team likes to make sure that the numbers are low so they have a better advantage on that attacking side.
Well, if you like Chamber, then I got some good news for you, because Valaris isn't the only one that likes to be bringing out the Chamber on this map, Sully, because Elu also heads over to the Frenchman here.
Yeah, and these are two teams I feel like have pretty similar styles in terms of, you know, with having the Chamber, it gives you a lot of opportunities to get aggressive, and we'll see it a lot on the defensive side specifically. We're going to have MLUO kind of play the B side, where you're going to have the Donut get aggressive with the Sky right behind it, or they'll switch it up and you'll see the A aggression from MLUO and then the B aggression from the Donut instead. So there's a lot of opportunities, I feel like, for both of these sides to get aggressive with that Chamber, and I think Split is one of those maps where, like, maybe similar to Bind, the rendezvous point actually still is pretty useful because there are like some corners that the Chamber can get back around, and we're definitely going to see the op get pulled out, I think, quite a bit from those Chambers as well.
Yeah, I definitely hope so, especially too when you're looking at the couple long corridors that Split has to offer. So honestly, just the perfect chance to be bringing this out. But Gompers, we talked about Valaris, we talked about them being the underdog going on into this, we talked about their star players. What are you most expecting here to see that upset on Split over FlyQuest, needing to come out from Valaris?
Yeah, honestly, from Valaris, FlyQuest, again, biggest issue here, if you're playing against a really strong duelist, it's so easy to take space on Split. And that's one of my biggest issues here, is the Donut is definitely going to be such a big factor of this game. So I feel like that's just going to have to be a really big counter. Like, use whatever it is, your controller, you know, get those early engagements like we talked about before on the defense, and really make those times count. Because again, the post-plant percentages speak for itself. That's something that they could take very, very far into the attacking side and win as many rounds as they want. But at the end of the day, it really is up to what can the Donut do and how can you shut her down.
It's going to be a lot about, like you said, like that attacking side. Again, we look at that stat, 91% win rate, and on the attacking side is where the numbers will have to come. They don't start on the attacking side, which is kind of, I think, the worrying issue. And then this is where they're going to be tested. You need some sort of like decent map score, I think, for that first half.
100% here. And as we get our agent select, not too many surprises. We're going to see that Chamber face off and the two cracked raises go at it. I'm excited to get into this map one here, as of course this is map one with elimination on the line. So I'm going to say au revoir to you two, and I'll see you later.
All right, thank you so much, Sierra, Sully. Listen, it's our first map. I'm excited to get into it. You're here. This is your first day of Game Changers, so honestly, welcome. It's an interesting day.
It is certainly an interesting day. Again, the big surprise at FlyQuest Red being in the lower bracket. It's a long day for them. And Valaris, you know, a team that I think was unfortunately poised to make a lower bracket run. They got seeded first against Shopify Rebellion. They've coasted so far, I think, against the weaker teams. This will probably be one of their bigger tests in this lower bracket. And it's a big opportunity for both these teams. Keep in mind, elimination, Gompers. This isn't the last Game Changer series we have, but it is one of the last opportunities to get very crucial points as we head into the later parts of the year.
Yeah, and speaking about crucial as well, you know, one of the biggest things, I think we did discuss this before, is FlyQuest, you know, in kind of where they are in the standings as well. Like, this is such a big game for them. So, you know, again, like you said, now is the time to make things count. But for Valaris, it's a time to put their name out there. Can they beat FlyQuest Red? And can they also slowly make their way to that, you know, main stage bracket?
It'll be a long, long road, I think, for Valaris, and this will be the biggest test for them. Split, again, one of the strongest maps that FlyQuest have, and you see a very strong default already set up early. As they have some control here towards B main, they can also pivot very quickly towards A. They're playing that deep lurk, looking for any aggression from this composition. Keep in mind, it's a mirror comp, so FlyQuest are kind of expecting a lot of similarities on their defending side from Valaris in this instance, I think.
Yeah, no information here, honestly. And it's gonna suck quite a bit, because it seems like right now just trying to lure something in from Han, not necessarily getting anything. Chamber's still here from Starbound. A big shot to come through, not gonna hit it though, and left alone on site. This is big, a free pick for a Fly, honestly, maybe. No, it's Starbound instead. Those are very, very good 2 first picks.
Puts it in a 5v3. I don't even think they get the spike down here, it looks like, Dom.
No, honestly not. And the peek out from Starbound, yeah, that has to be
down A.
honestly the winning play there. Being able to pick off the 2 and then TP themselves away, that definitely being the reason why we're here today, Flight. Having only Han left alive, this doesn't work.
And a strong anchor here from Valeris to, I would hope, pick up this first round, unless this 1v5 somehow goes the other way, but it doesn't. And that's the start that Valeris needed, something that we'll, again, have to keep an eye on. It's not their strongest side by any means. Again, we look at their stats. The main pressure and the focus point of this Valeris team is going to be their attacking side. But you have players like Starbound, and we talked about it earlier with that Chamber, being able to get around these early corners, find those first picks, and delay for her team to come through and be that supporting structure. So Valeris starting 1-0, it shows promising signs. Again, a defensive side is kind of the win condition here. They need like at least, I think, 3 or 4 rounds based on how their attacking goes.
Yeah, Chamber kind of being a pivotal moment here. And again, interested to see how well that continues to work out. Looking like it's
the misfire.
Yeah, the bird was kind of just chilling there. It's okay. Honestly, listen, no information is all information. Now they're able to see how many players are sitting around down in Garage. They got some information there.
They've got a pretty good idea. Again, like, you look at the setup that Valeris have. It allows them to play the stack towards B and towards mid. You have Starbound. They're a pretty trusty player when it comes to just walking down the A site, specifically in that pistol, just TPing out, playing safe, not giving their life up. And that's what will give Valeris a lot of this early round control that we'll see for the rest of this half. And when FlyQuest do get the guns, it's up to them to break it down.
This is going to be hard. Actually, down towards back Starlight, backing up a kill with just a judge in hand. I mean, there isn't really much to say about this, but it's surprising. We're actually seeing a turnover here come out from FlyQuest, where, you know, they really did take advantage of the situation. Shots coming through. No misfires here. It really is going to have to be up to Avery.
30 seconds left.
She kind of looking has to run away here. If she gets caught out, that will give a free gun over. And look at them, they're trying to crunch into Starbound.
Already a 2K. It's very, very harsh. The Chamber comes back in and up on top. Yeah, pretty much over. It is denied.
Still a pretty decent round, though, from FlyQuest, all things considered, taking 3 guns out of the hands of Valeris. I think you have to be pretty happy with the way that round went. That's a lot of reinvestments that are going to be made back here. Granted, Starbound only had a ghost, so there's a reinvestment there as well. But FlyQuest, 3 guns, 3 investments. It's not the strongest bonus. And actually pulling up Operator, despite the very, very weak buy. They are only 2 away from the tour de force, so I can kind of understand the gamble there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, in the beginning we talked about those first-hand picks we're looking for, and if the op is going to help that, really elevate that, I feel like that's the best case scenario.
MLE expecting aggression from this A push, seeing what she can punish. And I think off this aggression, she should call an early Q to make a B play happen. There's literally no one here. It's just one.
Yeah, if anything, seeming like they're trying to just trade off some picks, lure these players in. It's a super unfortunate position Fly's in right now because, you know, it was a close call down in that last round. Now scared, but also slowly trying to make something happen. Emily in a 1v3 if something happens here.
Just guaranteeing Starbound the tour de force. As soon as Emily gets it, she backs away instead. And look at the play that's happened. Valaris have gotten this A control, and they've refocused towards mid.
Oh, that timing is disgusting as well. That beautiful play. Already seen that synergy. Their kill is just going off, honestly. And it's surprising. I mean, just keeping that judge from the last round, taking a 2K in. Listen, it's a good trade-off.
Bill finding 2. Again, off of this Valaris aggression towards A. They're going to catch another out. Han is just walking out in the open. Not a clue in the world, but Emily has pulled it back. That's a huge double. And Starbound, the hero in the last couple rounds, has to find another 2v1.
Yeah, Pillar completely blocking that side. It's fortunate enough they still have some util to utilize here, but 12 seconds left. It's the stall that we're looking for, knowing the Chamber. Seeming like no information coming through, though. Emily, nice shots.
Ult's ready.
FlyQuest, I think, Very fortunate MLE finds that double because the way Valaris had played that round, I think it was absolutely perfect. They got aggressive towards A. Gil got phenomenal timing as well with the blast back on through, comboed as well with the gravel to catch those two players. So this was kind of Valaris doing everything right. And given that this was their bonus, this is a very profitable round from the guns that they have. Starbound being the only person investing now has the tour de force. And FlyQuest hurting economically because you can see they've had to go down to a share for one player.
Honestly, Han's cracked. I believe in it.
I think MLE is setting up a cosmic divide to make this happen. And Starbound, they've been good, but 5 players coming, it's going to be difficult.
But
that's
nice
insane.
back off, and it happens again. It's the stall that we talked about before. Yeah, there's nothing much to do with this, unfortunately. Starbound still completely blocked off. You see all this util being used, but nobody's pushing up. It's like a complete waste here. Emily, of course, getting the plant down.
They're looking to retake over towards Heaven. The spike isn't planted towards there, but they're putting some pressure, FlyQuest, seeing if maybe Emily can catch a lurk with distractions on site.
Oh, they're just stuck in back corner. But Gil knows this. They're still watching this very diligently, actually know the turnaround. Still having something happen here. Astra using the util, and Athena with the reload. It's unfortunate, going down as well. But FlyQuest, again, slowly working their way towards this. You see Starbound looking for another one once more, and the angle held by Emily. It's up to Australis, but looking at the way the numbers are, not seeming like it's going to win.
That's a beautiful post plan from FlyQuest Rest and a really great recovery off of the 4 versus 5 that they were dealt. Valaris against Starbound, good at finding those first picks, but I think this A side is really, really weak in terms of having map control and re-clearing parts for this retake. You can see the way that FlyQuest Red kind of abuse that. Like I said, Mluo just catching timing, playing back towards ramp, waiting for some kind of engagement on site before she decides to spring a trap. So Valaris have adjusted. They're no longer going to keep Starbound alone on this A site. Granted, this is just the eco, but I think it is a necessary change if FlyQuest continue to abuse that part of it. Like, Starbound has been good, but I don't think just a single player is enough to hold it down.
Yeah, now they're having 2 here, though. They're kind of playing in cohesion when you're looking at what Avery and Australis are trying to do.
Oh, they leave the spike here alone? This is a huge risk.
Still making a big duo. Donut backed off at the wrong time. So you're seeing them take complete control over garage side here. Unfortunate too, though, to Donut with a nice nade. And actually leaves a lot of space open.
I just can't believe they leave the spike with Emily alone and leaving her to solo lurk the B site. That felt like a very unnecessary risk. Thankfully, they are able to recover, but that could have gone very, very different. It looks like they will recover the entire round. Valaris, what Gil can do. Maybe get a couple of exits. No, nothing. FlyQuest at a pretty good spot. They've got some ultimates coming online here momentarily. Dodona with her showstopper. Maybe she will lead into a site with that if she can get that online. But for now, just saw the op get picked up. But yeah, that was a risky play, leaving, I think, the spike to go in alone to look to be made. Could have been a very different story had that nade not come through from the donut.
Yeah, it was a big save. Honestly, good read as well. Kind of thinking that Han maybe had pushed themselves into that back corner for that cross hold. But I mean, again, I am kind of liking like the different dynamic that we're seeing out of Australis and Avery.
I think the donut is going for her ultimate. There's a slight early contest here from Australis. The donut, I don't know if she goes for the ult, but she's certainly looking to blast back out here early. And look at the quick rotation Valaris have. You can instantly pull a player, Starlight, over towards B Heaven. Those snake bites can do so much damage as these players enter on through.
And we're actually seeing Avery try to counter these smokes.
And they just walk out. This is a beautiful setup from FlyQuest.
Yeah, they're sitting down back. This is big. Honestly, this flash, not getting any information. The 2K was probable, but it doesn't happen. FlyQuest still somehow managed to take it back.
And Starbound's actually going to try to contest early with the operator. Gets forced away by the Seekers. And now FlyQuest can get the spike down in the post plant.
Spike planted. Heal up,
yeah, some damage. Not doing too much, though. Heal still prevalent. But in a 4v3, I mean, the op's still present here. The retake is going to be very, very hard to commit to, especially down in CT. Nade slowly closing off. Emlo in a very, very bad position. A nice first shot from Starbound. And still, you're seeing the health here, and it's not looking too good. Han down Emlo a 1. And at the time, a 2v2 as well. The op slowly inching forward. A classic would have been enough. And it's Starlight left alone down behind themselves. They're not even watching. Leaving the smoke to do majority of the work. Emily still trying to make that gravitational pull do majority, and the shots through the smoke, making this a round win.
FlyQuest just walking their way into that B site. And I love that smoke setup. Despite getting the first kill, Avery in the back site, you just don't have the reactions quick enough, especially with that wall still up. You kind of see how it separates that second B player. And FlyQuest Red just playing their post plan perfectly. It's a very strong setup, keeping a player back site, one on the pillar, one in B main. Even if one goes down, there's an opportunity for that instant trade, and FlyQuest Red will put a fourth on the board, resetting Valaris once again. They're in a very dominant position. We're going to see the next round after this be where those ultimates come online. Valaris are going to try a little bit of a gamble, just to walk down towards mid, 5-player push. I do think if they get a kill, you might pop the ultimate here from Gil.
Been seeing a lot of sneakiness, honestly, come out of Fly's gameplay, but this is the first time we've seen Valaris really try to
flash.
Yeah, try to aggress as far as they can. Honestly, this might be dangerous, though. You got so many players holding these angles, still pushing up, but the Phantom seems stronger than what we think it is. With some flashes, tons of util. Listen, it's kind of going crazy here. Honestly, the Donut could try to get a clutch and a 2K there. Honestly, was it a waste of util? I don't think so. I think that was honestly the perfect scenario.
I think Valaris are pretty happy though to pull the showstopper out, putting that much pressure, doing a good bit of damage. I just saw the body get scooted across by the gravel. That's not allowed. I just saw the body get scooted. But Valaris, making a gamble, works out. They pull the ultimate out of the hands, and so they actually have the favorable ult economy here. 4 ults to work with, Viper's Pit probably being the big one. And they've made a gamble before on the A site where they left just Astralis to work B alone. They're going to do it here again, it looks like. Starbound will take the operator towards mid, but there are 3 players here contesting early.
You want to play? Let's play.
Feels like it. This is the first time we've actually seen Emla pull out an ultimate of their own. Oh, even with a shorty. I mean, listen, it's by chance, so even if a little bit of damage was done, it would have worked out. Still rotating over towards mid to see if there's something there.
Yeah, trying to push them back in towards this operator off that A aggression. Starbound might be good for one. They've been good for it typically. If not, it's going to be Astralis there.
Yeah, risky play. Seeker's actually coming out. Oh, this is so much information. The rotation coming in with these Seekers as well. Still have an Emblem sitting around down towards mid, so they're watching that here. And Athena lurking, taking a 1v2. The isolation here is going to have to be big. The first shot done, 72 in Starlight, though. Again, retransfers.
That is ridiculous that Athena even gets away with one there. And Starbound might get a trade. They do. And that will put it to a 4v2. Valaris have done a very good job of pushing these FlyQuest players back towards mid. And that's where they wanted the fight to happen. Oh, you see the barrel.
Yeah, that one was risky. Australis moving around there, not knowing
30 seconds
who
left.
was going to be behind that angle. Still, though, underneath his Gil. Nobody knows. I mean, they could peek all they want, but you still got Starbound there for some sort of reconnection here. First headshot down, and it is going to be left up to Han.
Not a chance there. Gil, they take him out. 5-3, Valaris. Starting to retake control. This operator from Starbound is just, I think, such a menacing presence on this map. Like, the way that they forced FlyQuest to go to this mid side, walk into Astralis and walk into Starbound was perfect. That aggression towards A, that 3-man push. And they took a gamble there, I have to say, leaving kind of B main very, very wide open. But it works out for Valaris, and I think FlyQuest will slowly realize that
I got you, okay?
that'll be a very difficult part of the map to take. The way that Valaris are playing A is giving them the opportunity to force FlyQuest's hands in other parts of the map. And now they're going to clog up mid and try and force them, I think, into a single, one-dimensional hit, essentially, towards B, it looks like.
They've been hitting B quite often here for Fly, so, not too big of a surprise. Only issue is we've constantly had that lurk, but we haven't really abused yet for Valaris. Again, seeming like they have their own sort of setup in mind.
And this is very deadly, because look at the way Valaris are playing it. Starlight will make the rotation, drop a snake bite, throw the wall up. Astralis just looking to hold in the back, and then Gil's got the showstopper. And they are over towards this mid side where they can make that rotation towards heaven. A lot of pressure is giving them the opportunity to walk up here. FlyQuest did this before, but that's such a well-timed guiding light.
That's huge as well. They pretty much identified 3 around towards mid, so they push up, not knowing Astralis is going to be able to take these fights themselves. But you still got that 1-to-1 action coming on down.
And the timing here for MLE, hoping to catch this showstopper, or at least catch players on this mid lurk, as Gil goes in and they don't get anything.
with the showstopper too. It's impossible now
left.
because now that was their one and only hope to try to get the Viper. Still trying to come back around. You see the op. It's not going to be probable the way that things are. Starbound in a very bad position. Viper goes down. So does the smokes, and it's left up to Emily, but I don't think it's enough. And possibly a 1v2, 15 seconds left now. They're just really going to have to try to isolate. Down behind in pillar. It's a jump peek to make it happen. It's Avery. Impossible play.
I can't believe Avery just hopping over the default box. We'll find it with the judge. Okay, then. VALORANT so quick to the, very, very quick to the scene. Like, despite this Viper spit going down, you can see how quick Avery just hops into it. And Gil, especially with the pressure that they created with that showstopper, ensuring that the spike wasn't going to go down early, wasn't going to go down for free. That pressure, just keeping FlyQuest right on their toes, has forced them to call a tactical timeout. Because the pressure that VALORANT have applied, you're a FlyQuest team and you need that kind of space, but VALORANT are pushing down towards A, putting pressure in this mid position, and kind of forcing FlyQuest to go the direction VALORANT want. And multiple times it's been towards B, where that contest has been, or where the setup is, or over towards mid, where that op is sitting from Starbound.
Yeah, honestly, feeling like, if anything, they really don't want to go against Starbound, because that feels like the main reason why we've been avoiding this A site so heavily. Just that consistent chamber gameplay that always stalls that potential push from Fly. So for me, I mean, the smartest decision maybe, still some ultimates left to be used on the board. So again, potential is here for Fly.
They do have the Cosmic Divide, as you were mentioning, ultimates. We've seen them head towards A off of it one time so far. I think the play here might be to go for a ramp play. You can see on the map, VALORANT have pinged it. That possibly that's the play here from FlyQuest Red. And they've even put Gil up towards there as well to see if they can contest.
That's a good
It won't be that. It won't be that this time around here, it looks like, from FlyQuest Red. They've been throwing the same default setup towards B, but now that VALORANT are playing a little bit more intelligently on this B side and dropping util, especially Astralis, finding that information, it's not working the way FlyQuest Red want. And they're still playing a retake here again on the B site.
Yeah, that early info actually led a rotation too coming through from Gil. So now we have that Australis Gil type of that dynamic that we were talking about before. Although, fortunately enough, it doesn't seem like Spike is heading towards there as well.
Watch out for Avery on the site. She's dropped a smoke as well to play around with this judge, and this could be very, very scary if you're a FlyQuest team looking to commit to this site, which they're not. They're trying to sell a fake. And I don't know if that guiding light over towards B actually caught Astralis or not, because it's actually pulled the rotation over. Gil's going back towards B right now.
At this point, everyone is everywhere, but at the right position as well. You've still got Starlight down in mid, as well as some of that util to really combine that with Avery waiting for the perfect call, the perfect moment. And no push to come through. 45 seconds left. This is going to have to be a very, very big fight to come through down towards mid.
You'll have to see the donut go huge, like a blast back into heaven.
Oh, actually missing out. They don't check the corner. Starlight left completely unread, and they get to back off with their life.
30 seconds left.
A 25-second scramble towards the A side. Starbound still anchoring again. Avery's just in the backside. They don't have time to make this exit happen right now, it looks like. And they're just running in as quick as they can.
Even still, the op in hand for Starbound. Listen, there's so much that we've seen.
Not a chance.
Starbound, but still, even with the judge, it still happens with the 3K. And it's Avery literally shutting this team down one by one. 3 seconds left, and Emily is hopeless. Unfortunately, not a lot to do here, but oh my gosh, that was a clutch if I've ever seen one.
I just don't understand the game plan from FlyQuest Red off of that timeout. Like, that was your full buy, and they dropped the Cosmic Divide, put no pressure, no util to sell a fake in that direction. And then tried to re-clear mid with no util. It was really just a donut jumping through. Like, there were no players behind her whatsoever to try and get that trade. FlyQuest Red seem a little bit lost, and this is one of their best maps. They beat DSG just yesterday, 13-8. But here, they're kind of just scrambling every time they're making an exec happen. And VALORANT not really doing anything. They're just given so much space. And there's no util being baited out as well. VALORANT have got so much opportunity to delay on these execs.
Yeah, I'm liking the approach VALORANT is taking, though. They're trying to cut out these choke points and make sure that, again, they have that first blood coming through to push for more potential. Already flash, so they know that there's some players surrounding down towards mid.
This time they will bait out some util here.
Destroyed.
Astralis giving up the dog. The snake bite being dished out as well. The 3 players here. And a flash at the ready as well. Astralis going to get that charged up in a second.
The push is coming in too slow. They've used so much util at this point. Now the dog is gonna
They
have
don't
to
check. Are you kidding me?
Trailblazer, you're kidding? Absolutely nothing. They're still left on set, and it's gonna have to be killed to make something happen. That does not happen every day. Not watching those angles is exactly what we continue to see out of Fly.
What is going on? Athena creeping up towards ramp. A very lucky kill, and just these lurks are working out apparently. Both Athena and MLE
Yeah.
finding space and putting out to Avery, who has been very good with the judge. But in this instance, you might want to make a swap. I don't think the judge is going to work at that angle.
Still a lot of potential here. Honestly, 2 stars left as well, so
10
the only
seconds
thing
left.
Athena really has to offer here is that poison cloud.
Pulling them
Level up.
in.
And this
There's no time to grab and want them
that was
around.
beautiful.
I'm so mad that happened. That's how the one.
Listen,
Just
Last
plops a
round
grab
before
well,
the switch.
has 2 seconds. Like, I swear FlyQuest,
Money day.
I want to see it from their POV. If they saw the star, we're like, yeah, let's go for the plant in there. Like that's gonna work. They did. They definitely saw the star because they walked into it. And the clutch, the Red Bull clutch, goes the way of Valaris, 6-5. I'm just astounded. Valaris had put up such a dominant first half, and given the percentages, a 69% win rate on the attack, a 91% post-plant win rate. This is a Valaris team that are looking to upset this first map, surprisingly.
I don't even know at this point, man. Avery's just on a completely different game. Ay. Listen, util's been strong for this team now. I gotta be honest. Like, you're seeing like really, really early contact being made from Astralis with just the guiding light
Recovering
alone
it.
to get an understanding as to can we push this angle right here, for example. A nice one, and a trade as well. So it's not like all is lost.
That's space, though, for Valaris to know that this is probably going to be an A hit, or at least a focus towards mid. And FlyQuest relying once again on those lurks. As Valaris dominating the B side right now. Trailblazer going through, just fully clears it out, and that's made the rotation. Starlight over towards Heaven.
They're just waiting to push this, but Starlight's watching.
And she's got a snake bite at the ready as soon as that trademark goes off.
Poison's off.
Oh, they've heard the ropes. Actually, no as well. Surprised they aren't playing with that. No, they actually are. They're playing the cross hold. The contact is big because Starlight still manages to make it work. And it is going to be Starbound once again. Han.
30 seconds left.
I mean, again, in an unfortunate position. It feels like Han is always in these like really, really key moments where they're stuck in a 1v3. And it just never works.
That was just a weird half from
Switching sides.
FlyQuest Red. Not clearing angles again, giving Starlight the opportunity to find a double. This was a shaky half, despite how close the scoreline is. These last couple rounds, like the last 4, were a FlyQuest Red team that were kind of scrambling a lot of instances. Like, yeah, 5 rounds in a row from Valaris and FlyQuest Red. I've got some work to do. That was the win condition. Valaris getting a decent defensive side. Again, this is their more dominant half. We'll look to those post fans to see what they can do, but FlyQuest Red cohesively not playing too good at the moment. The defensive side a little bit easier to work. We'll see a lot of aggression from them. But this pistol round, I think, is going to be the momentum swinger. FlyQuest need this one.
I feel like here too, one thing that we talked about is the donut being a really big factor of this team, and I feel like we haven't necessarily seen like that shining star player.
Towards mid, Valaris. They're running util down here, right? This Viper util is going to go down in a second, and this is their opportunity to kind of creep their way up.
Still some silence left. Yeah, they completely decided not to go here. It's interesting because they've baited everybody in towards mid.
Just spray the FF spray as well. They're confident in this attacking side. And a very similar setup to what Valaris ran on their defensive side. They leave just Emluo alone on this A site. And she just lets the ball cross. Oh, never mind. The Viper wall went up. I didn't see that on the minimap. There we go.
No, but Athena's not going to let them cross. I don't think there really is a choice, though, at this point. Yeah, instant reload is not going to be very suitable, but surrounding themselves back towards mid. This rotation's coming in quick.
30 seconds
Keeping
left.
2 players there. Perfectly done. And they have got 1 player left alone on this B site here. MLE might be able to deny the spike plant with a grapple here if she can get the timing right, maybe even a couple kills. What Starbound through the smoke?
The plan is going kind of local right now, but honestly, it's
Yeah, was that behind? That looked a little delayed for me.
It worked out the way that it did, but 3 players up in heaven. Honestly, at this point, I feel like they're gonna know. With all this util coming out through heaven, slowly putting their attention towards there. You got so many players watching this cross. A 4v3 still left, and the barrel of the weapon still being made. Contact for Starbound. They win this pistol round. They pretty much set themselves up for success here from Valoris. Yep, it's not an easy one.
Yeah, Starbound has been a hero in these pistol rounds. Another 3K, and the way Valoris, they seem, despite their record and the fact that this is FlyQuest's map pick, Valoris seem extremely well drilled just off of that first round. Like, the split over to, or the concentration towards mid, pulling util away, doing a late A hit that ultimately wraps towards mid, leaving 2 players there. I think it was Astralis and Starbound being those 2 lurks. This is a very well-rehearsed Valoris team that I felt had a pretty good grasp on the way FlyQuest Red play their attacking side and now this defensive side. Just based on that first round, we do have a technical pause. But the way things are going, Valoris, that's a big pistol round to pick up. That feels like the momentum killer. This isn't just a FlyQuest Red team that, you know, is getting outclassed strategically. It just feels a lot of these players are playing a little bit off right now. That cohesion that they're known for is not showing up here today.
Honestly, for Valoris, listen, they came into this slightly confident. They said, we know it's going to take some work, but we beat them before. And, you know, again, history really does show 8-5 already, and they pretty much add an advantage with this round coming in.
Go for a pretty heavy bonus here. Starbound picking up the Vandal. They've been dominant when it comes to these duels. So they pick it up, looking for any B aggression. This is kind of, I feel like, the make it or break it round for FlyQuest in this half. Yes, they'll have rifles moving forward, but Valoris have a very strong bonus moving forward. So this is kind of that instance where FlyQuest momentum is being shifted, and economy might not be on your favor if you can't win the next round after.
Gone.
Yeah, Starbound's already pretty much bullying this team into submission. The donut slowly peeking forward. I'm pretty sure the confidence again is really booming here.
Okay,
But it's too late. That's a possible win condition there with the Vandal picked up.
The Donut's got it as well. She won't get healed up though, as Han doesn't have the regrowth. And the way that things are going back towards the A side, you kind of have to play the 3v4 retake. If you're Emluo, you don't get engaged in this at all.
And honestly, the best case scenario is to just play off the Donut. Keep them very, very well protected. Gil taking a very sneaky approach, waiting for the perfect moment to strike here with Avery. I don't think it's going to look too good. Right now, slowly working their way up, not necessarily sure what is going on. We got the spike down. Valoris just need to play this post plant.
And Hana's got a flash to work their way back in. And look at where Avery's gone. She's going to leave it onto the 2 players on site here. This is a dangerous looking FlyQuest Red.
Even now, slowly working up
Expected.
Valoris. Yeah, they only have Spectres to work with here. The Donut with the Vandal is something that you have to know is not something to be taken lightly. Even then, neither is Australis. Avery as well. Now it's up to Han. Even a right click couldn't save them at this point. 16 health, and the spike still taking.
Remaining.
May as well run away, but Avery doesn't let them.
4 kills though for FlyQuest Red in this eco round. And Valoris are going to be hurting, losing a Vandal and a Bulldog. That's 4,900 credits gone that they just invested into. And Starbound will have to work with just the Headhunter. Gil probably won't have the best buy either. Yeah, this is a weakened bonus despite buying up 2 massive rifles in that previous round. And FlyQuest Red, they have to win this one. And it looks like just the damage they did previously, this should be their round. 5 rifles up against 2 SMGs and the rest just pistols. You have to wonder who won the actual first 2 rounds.
Light? Still holding their own now. Honestly, mid is so much control already taken up just by Gil alone. You're seeing Trailblazer can slowly inch forward. Some of that damage being taken by Starbound. They're at a very, very good standpoint right now in these first couple seconds.
And Gil's got really great spacing here as well. And really great timing with that nade. Might get one.
But the one doesn't come. It is not gonna work out. Honestly, with that coming down, losing Gil in these moments, especially one of their top fraggers, that in its own is something very risky.
A gamble here from FlyQuest Red. A gamble towards the B site after losing that mid control. And they're playing the retake here. Avery's been gifted the rifle that might get past the Starbound.
Toxins going up. Toxin screen down.
Everybody's protecting B site. Majority of the push coming in through A. Athena getting lucky with a shot here. Still doing a 4v4. Majority of the players already have taken this site completely free.
It's Avery with this rifle that's still the unknown quantity. And look at Valaris
30 seconds left.
in a disadvantageous position. Will have to try and get aggressive and create some opportunity. But Astralis goes down. And that might make things a little bit more difficult. It certainly will, actually, with a flank coming
One
through.
enemy remaining.
Seeming impossible for Avery, but we've seen Avery clutch this before, and honestly, I just cursed her and she died immediately, so I should have probably let her handle that herself.
Not meant to be there. And FlyQuest Red keeping things relatively clean. 4 players alive, some ultimates coming through. Donut being given the defuse, puts her 1 off the showstopper. And that damage that FlyQuest Red did in that second round, not allowing the strongest bonus from Valaris, gives FlyQuest Red that win condition, a strong economy, and that early momentum being swung back in their favor now. Starbound going for the attacking operator on split of all things. This will be interesting as the way that she's going to set themselves up. Valaris, a pretty dicey situation. A loss here gives FlyQuest possibly 8 rounds on the board, bringing this now within just 1.
Yeah, again, taking up a lot of mid control. It feels like Emlo here, there to counter that too. Ooh, and the counter they will. Gil already down, so you're losing your very, very big duelist here.
Right there.
And now you've got to take time to re-clear this mid side, not knowing exactly where that anchor went. It could have been towards elevator, could have been towards mailroom. And there's util here, at least for Valaris, to take the space back. Starbound has been left to just watch the B push. They see nothing.
Scout destroyed.
But with no commitment towards A, you kind of think Valaris are going to have to gamble towards this B side right now. And in a second, FlyQuest will know that with this push towards A main.
Time to hunt.
Oh, and it's consistent too. Looking for lurks every single round. FlyQuest finally being able to find one here. With the Donut doing the majority of the work. It seems like they're going to meet each other down in spawn.
Toxins going up.
Worried about maybe a heaven wrap here, it looks like, after the guiding light got sent there. Stars timed here over towards B. This is looking like a pretty dicey situation here for Valaris. You're kind of being read like a book. They should know the exit's coming.
Yeah, fast rotation's going to have to come in quick.
My
Emluel,
ult is ready.
again, already finding off Starlight. So they've lost their smokes, but at this point, they still have the Astra. Avery, very, very big on potential here. 2 stars left to manage here. As we know, apparently her stars are very, very difficult to see.
I don't like Starbound's positioning here with the operator. They're not in the best spot, and back side is a very difficult area to play. As soon as you get overwhelmed, yep, see, like a flash like that could take you out.
Oh, but the smoke's gonna dissipate soon. You see somebody up towards heaven. Emluel finding the head ever so slightly, and around the back, we talked about it. The Donut looking for that lurk, and it manages to really make things work for Fly.
That A aggression giving FlyQuest that early space, that early read, and then that late flank from the Donut. It's wrapping around towards B main, and FlyQuest now resetting Valaris. Are going to bring this probably within 1 here momentarily, unless they get ecoed, but FlyQuest finding some footing. Emluel with 2 huge kills, both up towards mid and towards mid-heaven. She'll be the controller, it looks like, over towards mid. No op for Valaris anymore, but picked up Emluel. This FlyQuest not too far off of where they need to be. Again, resetting Valaris. A 5-man hit towards A, though, might overwhelm. I think Emluel here in a second.
Oh, that's actually so lucky. Not even having the dog try to clear sight
You want to
firsthand.
play? Let's play.
Jewel gets taken down. That's going to be a very big punishment.
I hate that because it's the second time that they just lead with a Trailblazer, knowing that there could be an op at a very long angle, and knowing the dog isn't going to see that, and the entry still goes in. Like, I think the donut had to happen to her in the first half as well.
They're still not going to do it, are they? Astralis has something to work with here. No, actually, they don't. They're going to have to go in completely wrong. Right now, it seems like, I mean, regardless, the fingers are just hitting shots down the long run. They've actually managed to take down the op as well. And information already down towards the back. You see so many players left standing, but still manages to get the one that leaves an opening big enough for Vaughn to slowly infiltrate. But it's not big enough. One player still left down behind. It's Emily. Needing the defusal. Yeah, but the defusal not present.
I actually did curse him. I said FlyQuest should be getting onto 8 unless they get ecoed, and they did get ecoed. Valaris somehow winning that ramp fight, and it is because of a pretty big snake bite that I think Starlight ended up throwing. Like the swung happened, and a snake bite, or I think the Trailblazer went out, and Starlight very quickly throwing a snake bite out allows them to find that second kill in the over towards ramp. And FlyQuest Red, they realized that they need to call a timeout. That was the round they were meant to win there, Gompers.
Honestly, it would have worked out if that one moment hadn't happened. Like, oh man, it really did.
What is
feel
that
like
moment? What was the moment?
Listen.
Let me put you on the spot.
Listen. Hold up. For FlyQuest, all right, hear me out. I feel like there with the donut, the execution was perfect. I really did like the fact that they kind of just, honestly, listen, if I was the duelist on this team, I probably would have fought.
You got no idea what you're talking about.
would have swung with it. What are you talking about? Showstopper, bro. Okay, I sound crazy right now, but I have something in my head. It's cooking. I just, I'm bad with words.
Yeah, you had it, dude. I'm so dude.
I did have it.
Who's FlyQuest's coach? Let's swap you
Put me in there,
quick.
bro.
Yeah, let's swap you in and see what you can do. But yeah, Showstopper getting used. FlyQuest with a lot to deliberate here. Is there in a position where you lose this round? This one isn't the worry round. It's the next one after, where you'll have no credits to work with. Puts possibly Valaris on 12. So you're kind of in a spot where this is, again, one of those must-win rounds. Otherwise, you're kind of playing backs up against the wall. And a 4-player stack towards the A side. And leaving just MLE, who, I won't lie, has been good, but on her own here towards B, might have her work cut out for her.
Oh, they've heard Emlo and they slow walk themselves backwards.
Just instantly back away, right?
See, if I was the coach, I would have said the same thing.
The 3-man push again over towards A. They should be looking to make a rotate. The Donut won't get aggressive on the flank this time around. And I wonder if a sound cue was given up on this A push, because everyone in Valaris is rotating back the other way, it looks like.
Oh, the timing on that. I think I actually had that in advance. I think the actual time was there, though. Although this is the first time we've actually seen Gil like fully execute on the site, which is great, because majority of the time it's been like first pick from Gil, not having a good time.
It's been a pretty good read here, looks like. Valaris understanding that A is where FlyQuest, these last 4 rounds, have been putting all their focus on. And they spot that aggression, and now are able to punish Athena.
Yeah, but now again, we're talking about the post plant here. This is the time where Valaris really have their strongest suit. They're taking not only control down towards site, but also just that kind of backup there from Australis, sticking themselves very, very far back. Now the push coming in, honestly, perfect timing. Here's the flash. They know, they have an understanding. This is the time where I have to make things count. Still, though, watching Zemluo. Now Starlight getting stunned out. You see so many players making a profit here. How did that happen? The transfer coming down over, and Avery making things work. Even then, in a 1v1, though, Emlo wins it out.
I don't know if there's time. Is there time?
I think there is not. I lied. I'm a liar.
You are a liar. Valaris getting on to 11 just with the clock. I think I don't even think that Avery needs to get those 2 final kills, but pulling off again, another Red Bull clutch. That's technically a 1v3 where she ended up going down or not having to do anything, right? She had the gravel clutch, and now she has the 1v3 with time. And Valaris, that's a massive round to pick up. Again, you look at the consequences. This will be FlyQuest in kind of their last round with a bye here. The loss bonus wasn't in their favor. Athena's going to use the Viper's Pit, it looks like, to play off of this judge. But this is the round. Kind of do or die here in map number 1 for FlyQuest Red.
I'm not going to duo up, but I'm not seeing too much here, honestly.
Scout destroyed.
From what they're trying to execute on. Nobody tends to push this angle here from Fly.
They switched it up, yeah. Normally they push towards A, and it looks like Valaris were looking to punish that.
Oh, the footsteps.
Dude, this is the war. This is such a scary setup. Like, it's either gonna kill all of them or they're gonna get nothing.
The peak is what's scaring me more, because it's that close hand angle that I felt like really would have worked here. The impatience, though, finally touching them. And honestly, Vaughn going down as well.
And either gets all three of them or it gets absolutely nothing, and it got nothing this time.
If they had stayed there literally 2 seconds longer, it would have been a perfect play.
And now you kind of have to save your FlyQuest, right? Because that perfect play didn't work out. Valaris looking like they're going to get on to 12 here. Emluo saving the operator. MLE holding on to the rifle. Those are the only 2 guns I think they'll have moving forward. In a perfect world,
30 seconds
Emluo
left.
drops the operator and plays with the headhunter.
Yeah.
But that's really the only age you can play with the op. So Valaris, in pretty alarming fashion, I'm not going to lie, Gom, have found 12 rounds on FlyQuest Red. Again, a top 4 Game Changers team from last series. And they're going to take, it looks like they're going to take their map pick. FlyQuest will not have the cash to make a very strong buy. They're at least going to be lacking in guns, armor, and maybe even that util department.
Yeah, I can really see how Valaris just kind of countered this team completely. It's, again, like the consistent, on the attacking side, majority of it really is just the surprise attacks that we get to see out of Gil. Majority of the time, that patience that we just saw right now, like really luring in the impatience of Han and Athena right there was something that kind of allowed them to take this round in, bring that match point about.
We'll see the buy here in a second.
Match point.
FlyQuest.
Take aim, Zenfire.
They have that again, still Athena on that ultimate, and yeah, the buy. They've actually made it work pretty well here. I think Athena's the only one that's going to be kind of hurting. Yeah, drop from Emluo, maybe. No, never mind. She just bought a shorty, it looks like. So this is a very weird buy. A Bulldog, 4 sets of light armor, a missing guiding light as well here. This is not the full kit that FlyQuest wanted. But they will have the ultimates, I think, to supplement it. And they put a focus this time towards mid. We've seen the A aggression, we've seen the B aggression. And here in what could be their last round, they've put a focus here towards mid.
Really focusing up on mid. Oh, the shots fired. That's completely lured everyone away. There's no interest now. If anything, Gil is literally the strongest mental player you've ever seen. Because a peak like that is scary enough knowing an op is surrounding down towards mid. Even a Jiggle Peak's still trying to learn these players to keep their attention mid.
Really drawing out the showstopper here. And just out in the open, Emluo just steps too far away from a rendezvous. And that might have just cost the round here for FlyQuest, and maybe even the entire map. Or it will be the entire map if it costs them the round. And look at this timing as well. Starlight on a lurk towards A. After all that commotion leaning towards mid and towards B, Starlight might get timing, won't get caught up by the trademark, and I think for sure Athena's going to go down here. No, the back turn, still gets it.
Everything is working out for this team. Honestly, at this point, majority of it was the timing.
30 seconds left.
Even with the sneak coming along, that theoretically should have been Athena's. But again, the aim just too strong here for Valaris. Now having to force themselves out with the ultimates, because this might just be the last round. Seekers coming through, but they don't even know where majority of them are. Completely canceled the moment they hit the door.
Yeah, I'm isolated. One fight here. Australis, never mind, still taking Emily out.
Attackers
Closing
win.
out the map. Are you kidding me? 13-7. This is a map that FlyQuest should have been in full control of here, Gom.
Yeah, you say full control. I honestly have to agree with you. There were so many moments there where I felt like they had a ton of potential to really take things back. But for me, the biggest thing from Valaris was, again, just the ability to kind of push these players back into a really, really awkward default position when they were on the attack. And then when finally Valaris had reached that attacking side, it did feel like, again, like the patience of them playing that default, of luring them in now. It really felt like there was a lot of luring in from Valaris' side.
Yeah, getting 7 rounds on the defensive side. Like, again, we talked about a 91% win rate in the post plan, a 69% win rate on the attack. That was a strong defensive side, and that's what kind of set themselves up for success. You can see the defensive strengths. And honestly, I think a lot of faults as well to FlyQuest Red. It just didn't feel they had the cohesion on their attacking side. And then going to the defense momentum and the way that Valaris were playing, it just felt that there was no way FlyQuest were going to get back into it as on an individual level. I think in this time around, Valaris definitely had the better number.
Yeah, better numbers, honestly, better attacking side as well. That kind of just boosted them up to a degree that we didn't even expect. But honestly, I'm pretty happy with the performance that we got. This wasn't something I was looking out of from Valoris. I was honestly expecting FlyQuest to kind of run away with this game. We talked about the donut. We talked about the possibilities that were going to happen there. But it really did feel like the donut wasn't shining as heavily as we thought.
Yeah, not really at all, at least in this first map. And so FlyQuest Red down 1-0. Again, a top 4 game changers team. We'll see what they have for us. We're going to throw things to a quick break, and then we'll be back with the analyst desk.